Another bright Monday, that means Sporty Monday. We are discussing sports content across the globe, not just in Kenya, but of course, even in United or England, where United won some small trophy in the name of Carabao or League Cup, whatever name you give it. And of course, there's no peace. Raburu decided to disappear. Arsenal, of course, are still on top of the league standing. City breathing hard down their necks. And of course, locally, Gor Mahia have taken charge of the league campaign. But a good weekend to be a United fan as they ended their 6-year trophy out. We're going to look at that and much more. But first things first, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Arocho?
Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
I'm okay. First of all, I'm grateful that I'm here.
Kiburi FC, is that true?
No, it depends on how you look at it.
Okay.
It depends on how you look at it. But all in all, one trophy, regardless of how you're going to refer to it,
after 6 years,
is worth more than 1,000 in the bush.
A bird in hand is worth 2 in the bush.
1,000 in the bush.
Great. Zita?
Yes.
Good feeling?
Yeah, good feeling. And I think I should be crowned the prophet today because...
you predicted this?
I predicted... No, I didn't predict it. I think the KCB and FC Leopard match, I told Arocho that KCB I mean, last season were beaten home and away by FC Leopards, and I told them this match is going to be a very crucial one, and mtapata kichapo. And it happened, so please, today I'm the prophet.
He's not so happy. I think that's why he's so mute here. But pole. Regardless. Kianda, karibu sana.
Asante sana. Yes, top of the table. Tunakula asali huko mbinguni. Unajua, zile ziko chini hatujali whatever happens. Just honey asubuhi, maziwa jioni. We need security. Because at this rate, I mean, things are not going to be good. But I'm happy. Great weekend it has been. Gor Mahia against Police FC. That was a great game. I didn't expect Police to lose to Gor Mahia, at least a draw. But I have a bone to pick with Gor Mahia, which nitaitangaza mapema.
We'll be coming back to that, but first things first, let's look at one man, Ferdinand Omanyala, who continues to make history, sprinting to fame and, of course, setting new records. Just take a look at how he performed at the weekend at the AK Meet, where, again, he set a new record, and he's doing quite well. We'll be having graphics there. But, Arocho, you always talk of Omanyala being your colleague. Look at his run at the Indo Championship, where he's doing very, very well, over 60 meters. And, of course, we saw him again do well at Kasarani. How far can he go? Because he's actually changed the entire discussion, entire narrative. Kenya are not sprinters, and now the whole world is taking notice of his performances.
I don't just say that he is my colleague. He's indeed my colleague. Because, you know, many people would like to associate with winners, but for me, it's just part of me and Omanyala. Well, I think the sky's the limit for the young man. He's still very young, dedicated and ambitious. And as you've ably put it, the guy is just making records after the other. The other good thing about sprinting this season, this year, is that Mark Odhiambo is also coming back mid this year after what happened in the Olympics. I'm so happy for Mark. I had an interview with him, and I really felt his pain, the way things panned out in the Olympic. But coming back to my colleague, the sky is the limit. And as he promised me that, Arocho, I'm going to do wonders in the Olympics. So I'm still waiting for another record from Ferdinand Omanyala during the Olympics.
And there, look at his graphics, basically. Winnie will be putting it up shortly. But clocking 6, there they go. Maybe Zita, Zita, it with your comment?
I think when you have a dream and you're working toward the dream that you have, it's something that you, every day, every time you wake up, you're like, I want to break what I've already placed out there. So for me, I think Omanyala have a dream, and if he continue like this, he's going to break a lot of records, by the way. So for me, let's continue working hard, and this is your time. This is your time to win and win and win and win.
Kianda, what's your thought? And again, what does this now mean going forward? Because we are seeing more and more youngsters trying to make a name in the sprint where we've not really done well over the years. But Omanyala single-handedly is changing this narrative. And of course, Mark Odhiambo would expect him back on the track after serving his suspension.
Yes, I mean, he's a role model to the society. He's changed the narrative, as you guys have put it, about Kenya being a long-distance nation, but this time round, Omanyala is doing wonders. The moment he beat Marcel Jacobs in Italy, I think that is where I started seeing him making his dream come true of winning the World Championship in August. It will be taking place in Hungary. What we need to know now is who is pushing Omanyala to the limit. We've talked about Mark Odhiambo. There's another guy who finished second in this at a track and field trial that was taking place at Nyayo. When you have people who push you, they challenge you every time. I'll give you an example of the Jamaican team that won the World Championship. I think it was in 2012, or Olympics or World Championship 2012. They had the likes of, when Usain Bolt was on fire, who was pushing him to that limit? Well, the likes of Johan Blake, the likes of Asafa Powell, the likes of, I'm forgetting another name, the team that broke the record. There were 4 athletes who were actually pushing him to the limit. Tyson Gay. I mean, when you have stars, when you're not push to the limit, they always make you have sleepless nights. And that's why someone like Omanyala, his target is to win the World Championship, but who is challenging him in the indoor races? There are stars who are going to compete with him in the World Championship.
Big names, yeah.
So we are going to see the best of him because of the people who are pushing him. And I think this track and field event that took place at Nyayo National Stadium was the event that registered most sprinters in AK history, I think so, the sprinters. So it tells you something about the narrative that Omanyala has changed. So we need to see more Omanyalas. And that has to start by nurturing them from primary school to secondary school. So they need to come up with programs to get more Omanyalas. I know of people who used to run very fast. Omanyala alitoka kukimbia Mumias, akakuja kujaribu hapa Nairobi. He used to play rugby, si ndio?
Yeah.
So how many Omanyalas are in Nabikoto, where he come from? How many Omanyalas are in, what's the village? Kechire. How many of them are there? So it's a challenge to those who are scouting for this talent, AK, to come up with programs to get more Omanyalas. Wasikai tu kwa mtaa hivi tuseme ati ayo jamaa alikuwa anakimbia sana. Like Oliech always says, you've talked to Oliech a couple of times. He said that I wasn't the best. Of course, he was the best during that time, but there were people who played better than him. So they come up with programs to get more of these sprinters out there.
Arocho, as AK works on scouting, which Kiende is talking about, maybe as we wrap up on Omanyala, he's an African champion, of course, Commonwealth Games champion, and of course now he's aiming for 2 major honors, as Kenda puts it, the World Championship and of course Paris next year, 2024 Olympics. You remember his performance in the postponed Tokyo. Do you think he has the acumen actually to beat the best of the best in these 2 major competitions?
Personally, I think that he was not really prepared for the Olympic that was held in Tokyo just after the COVID. And Hungary, for me, will just be a springboard for him. I've talked to him severally, and you can hear it from his voice that he's eager to move. I mean, when you look at as the soccer guru as ably put it, you need someone to push you more so in these short sprints. And that's why I mentioned Mark earlier. Mark Odhiambo is coming back, I think in June, July, after his suspension. And I believe that the training will be there. He's ready for it. And if he doesn't do well in Hungary, I'm seeing him perfecting his art in Paris because he is a disciplined guy. And when you talk to him, you find that he's a gentleman that has not really done what he wants to do. So there's still room for improvement. And that improvement for me is going to be in Paris.
Paris, we look forward to it. And let's come back.